Hey guys, how you doing? I thought I would pop on and just do a little video. So I coach for people at all levels. So I coach people that come to me on a private basis. You know, that could be anything from mums wanting to get back into the workplace, or people with personal problems, right through to exec coaching. And we do CV work and mock interviews and coaching them to be a better manager or leader. So it really is the broad spectrum. And what I've noticed throughout my time in coaching, and I've been working with people for over 20 years now, is that, you know, everybody does have their own personal problems and particular things they want to get over, but actually there's quite a lot of similar themes with the challenges that people face and internal work that people need to do. And I wanted to talk a little bit about that today. So I was chatting to one of my coaches and she was like, oh, Chris, you should really put some of this stuff out online because it could really help people. So I'll do a little series of videos. And today I just want to talk a little bit about internal work. So what you tend to find with a lot of people is that, you know, I really want to reach a particular goal and they're working really hard and they're in that struggle, and you know, whatever they seem to do, they kind of either get there through forcing it there, or you know, they never seem to quite get where they want to be. So one of the things that I want to talk about today is doing all that internal work, because it's about being happy on the inside as well, and it's about being grateful, and it's about, you know, raising your vibration. So the stuff that you really want to come into your life can come into your life a lot easier. So it doesn't have to be a struggle all of the time. And I spent a long time in struggle and, you know, really forcing things through. And a lot of where I've got to has been through sheer putting your head down, grinding, you know, working hard. And it's taken me a long time to realize that actually that's not the only way to do it. And I've been into positive psychology for years, positivity, meditation, all that kind of stuff. And even through all that, it still has been a struggle at times. And I see it in so many other people. And what I really want to say to you is if you want to reach goals, you know, you have to do things. So if you want to grow your business, for example, if you're a business owner, obviously you have to do things with the strategy side of things. I come from quite a commercial background, so, you know, I know how businesses grow and scale, and there's a lot of work that needs and thought that needs to be put in there so that you don't fall through the cracks or you don't go off tangent. You need to have a clear strategy and clear plan. Before you do that though, you want to work on yourself. So you want to do that internal work. So you want to be super clear about your goals and do work around that to make sure you're really clear about what it is you're trying to achieve. Then you need to do that integration work that it actually is that congruent, because sometimes actually what I've noticed when I've worked with clients, they say, oh yeah, I want X, Y, Z. And then actually, as you start working through it, it's not quite the same. So it's not just they want X, Y, and Z, but actually there's stuff underneath is what they actually want. So if I give you an example, you know, they're like, oh yeah, I want to make 100 grand a year. You know, and yeah, they do want to earn 100 grand a year. Who wouldn't want to, you know? So that is the correct thing on the top level. When you start delving underneath that, it's more about, quite often, it's more about security and financial freedom. And actually, if they were earning that, they wouldn't be worrying about the bills. You dig below that, it is about that financial security. They want to feel secure. They don't want to worry about the next bill and all that sort of stuff. So there's always deeper levels to everything that we want on a top level. And a really good thing to do is start to work on that and really unpick it. Is, you know, like, you know, you think, oh yeah, I want this. Well, why do I want that? What's it going to bring me? So really start thinking about what it is you want and why you want, because that will really give you great insight and things that you can work on, both practically in terms of putting a plan in place to achieve it, but also spiritually, if you like, on things that might be blocking you and, you know, and challenges that might get in your way. And one of the things you can start doing when you're starting to work on yourself is really raise your vibrations. So I'll talk about this in another video because you can go into a whole lot of information about it. But it is about raising your vibrations and getting to a more positive place, particularly if you've, you know, the last few months have really got you down and all that sort of stuff. You know, it's very easy to get into that low place. And if you really want to make tracks and you really want to go the distance and you really want to make massive impacts, then you've got to get yourself into a higher state. So you've got to, you know, expand and get bigger and more visible, rather than, you know, being all little and on that low vibration. So things that, you know, I do with clients is about raising that vibration in a number of ways. It could be getting more visible, it could be doing exercise to, you know, all these things raise your vibration and get you out there more. It could be, you know, meditation and practice and morning rituals and not being on social media all the time, whatever it might be. So there's a number of things that you can do to get yourself into the right headspace for being able to move forward easily without it being such a struggle. And the more you kind of think, oh God, this is really hard, blah, 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 your energy is going all the way down, and then it will be a struggle. So it is about trying to get into that higher vibration and not just do it for, like, you know, people say, oh yeah, you know, do your morning ritual, do your evening ritual. And that is really important because it does set you up for the day and it does end the day in the right way. But you've got that whole massive chunk in between that you have to do something with. You can't just go, yeah, I've done my gratitude list in the morning, I've watched a inspirational podcast or listened to a podcast or watched something on YouTube. Yes, I'm set for the day. And then all day you're like, oh, this is a load of crap. Or, you know, I'm at work and it's just all day long and it really gets me down. But then I get home, sort myself out, and then I do my thing at night just before I sleep. Yes, done. I'm doing things the right way. No, you've got to do it all the way through the day. You know, you've got to be congruent. So if you're starting with, you know, getting into that vibrational higher place, you can't just do, you know, something in the morning and something in the night. You've got to carry it all the way through the day. You know, you've got to catch yourself when you start thinking negative thoughts, or when you're like getting annoyed at somebody, or you start gossiping about someone behind the back. You know, those are all things that are going to bring your energy levels down. And you really need to start catching it and becoming aware of it. And as soon as you catch it, start flipping it around to something more positive. So all these little tricks, you know, and again, don't sound much. And actually, you know, I read quite a lot. And in a lot of the books they say, you know, I think it was in The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. And that's a really, really good book for anybody that's wanting to read something good about very small incremental steps that help get you to where you want to be. And again, they talk about in that book, it is those tiny things, and the easiest stuff is the most impactful, but it's also the easiest stuff not to be bothered doing, or like, oh, that's just almost too easy to be true. Actually, if I do that, am I really going to make those differences? And the answer is yes, but you have to do it, and you have to do it consistently. You can't do it for like a couple of days and, you know, your whole world's going to change. Be amazing if it did. And, you know, I'm sure for some people will just get that lucky, but for most of us, you know, it is about consistency and doing these sorts of things every single day. And by doing it every day, then you'll get to where you want to be so much more easily. So that's it for today. Today is just a bit of an introduction to these little snippets that I'll do every now and then. But yeah, so do your inner work. This little video is about opening your eyes and just thinking about how much time do you spend in a higher vibration, as opposed to a lower vibration where actually you feel a bit rubbish or sluggish, or, you know, moaning about people in your head or whatever it might be. All the things that get you down. How much time do you spend there versus how much time do you spend in the higher vibrations where you're doing your daily practices, you're exercising, because that again raises your vibration, you're doing really positive things, you're playing and laughing, because again that is really high vibration stuff. And that's something that I had to learn, is actually there's a point where I was working all the time and actually I wasn't really doing any playful stuff, or wasn't having that much fun. So, you know, again, conscious choice for me is to, you know, make sure I carve that time out to not just be working all the time, and to have that fun and time with family, dog and everything else. So, you know, really think about how much time you're spending in each arena, and if it's not a good ratio, then try and work to move that slowly but surely into a more positive, higher vibration stuff. And if you do that and you have your daily practices, which we'll talk about in another video, then you will start to move the needle to where you need to be internally. And then whatever it is that you want externally, whether it's growing your business or, you know, relationship stuff, getting into a better relationship, or money stuff, getting into, you know, better money, whatever it might be, you will start to see the difference because you're in a better place, things start flowing a lot easier, and it's not so much of a struggle. And do you know what? You know, I say this stuff to people whether they're, you know, really new to coaching, and, you know, they're quite young, right through to usually older people who are much more senior execs and all the rest of it. And it's not always like that, but, you know, just to give you that spectrum. And no matter how old you are or what job you have or what level you are, you know, it is the same stuff that keeps coming up for people. And I have worked through this stuff with people at all levels, so it absolutely applies. So just have a think. That's my little tip for today, and hope you enjoy it.